So how do I look? Hey everyone, my name is Americ and welcome to a brand new review for The Mentalist, Season 6, Episode 12, titled The Golden Hammer. As usual guys, before we delve into what worked and what didn't work in this episode, let's talk about the story. In Golden Hammer, Jane and the FBI are essentially looking into the murder of a cartographer who was working for this high-tech company. Turns out the guy got killed by one of the other employees of the company because he had uncovered a spy ring. In parallel, Van Pelt and Rigsby are brought back into the fold as detectives, private detectives, trying to find out why one of the previous CBI prosecutors is being targeted, which all led to the discovery of the body of said prosecutor and uncovers a new mystery. So with all that said, let's talk about what worked. I have to say the mystery in this episode was really legit. I'm a big fan of spy story and I thought this was pretty clever. I like the whole Jane figuring it out, taking the newspaper and just trying to find some sort of coded message. And I like the whole cloak and dagger aspect to it all. It was a lot of fun. I liked it. It was my kind of mystery. And I talk about this a lot, guys, but it's important to bring up the team dynamics are getting a little bit more clear every episode that goes by. I think now we get more of a sense that it's not so much about who's boss and who's not boss. There's less of a hierarchy and it feels like everyone's a little bit at the same level. It's interesting because even Lisbon brought up, hey, you're not my boss. And Jane was like, I know. We're partners. Now, a lot of you were complaining last episode that there wasn't enough of Jane and Lisbon interacting. There was not enough of the whole jizbiness that we all enjoy. So I think someone heard you because this episode, they were all into bringing those two together because they apparently had scenes upon scenes upon scenes together and they did a fantastic job. I really enjoyed it. My favorite moment was when Jane was behind the seat of the car and he came up and they all were startled. I swear to God, the reaction from Robin Tunney was genuine, like absolutely surprised. You replay that. If you have it on DVR, replay that. You can see her smiling, a genuine smile. And I honestly think that it was an actual moment between Robin Tunney and Simon Baker, and I thought it was hilarious. You see, Heller, sometimes he comes through. He gives you a little bit of a bone. And I'm like, I'm gonna take that bone and keep it and hope for more. Now let's move on to what didn't work. I have to say, usually it's not that big of an issue, but I really felt in this episode, the supporting cast members, Killer, the victim's brother, and that other foreign spy guy, it was kind of weak. They were not very engaging characters. Usually I know that they're not meant to be super freaking engaging, but come on, man. They were just not super interesting. I mean, the victim's brother was just a walking stereotype, you know, rich white dude, and you had the evil spy executive assistant who was just super corny in her interrogation, and the foreign spy guy was just like, sorry guys, I'm just gonna admit everything. I mean, come on. No one at any point decided, you know what? I just got arrested by the FBI. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna confess everything. Or, this is just crazy, I'm gonna call a lawyer and I'm not gonna say a word. Oh my God, this was just, not great. The reintroduction of Van Pelt and Rigsby. It wasn't great. I don't dislike those characters, but the way they were brought in was super clumsy. The fact that you had to bring this guy who was also working at the CBI to come and fly all the way from Chicago to see Teresa, and Teresa sending him to San Francisco, and it just sounded too convoluted. There's so many ways they could have gone that the scenario that they laid out just did not make any sense. If you're the guy and you think you're being bucked, do you go and call the only detective you know? Or, and this is just a thought, you can go and hire legitimate other detectives. Clearly money is not an issue, so why go all the way to see Teresa Lisbon? And then once you go there and she says, you know who can help you? Private detectives. I mean, yes, they used to be CBI, but come on. this could have been avoided altogether. And I know that this whole thing was a way to A, bring in Van Pelt and Rigsby and sort of give them something to do, and B, also justify, you know, this whole new mystery that's coming on top, which might be really interesting, but still clumsy. Which actually brings me to the WTF section of this review. I'm really curious about this mystery that Van Pelt and Rigsby have uncovered. I was sort of hoping that it was Red John related, but it wasn't. I mean, when they turned that body around, I was like, please be a Red John thing, please be a Red John thing. Oh, he's just dead. But I would settle for anything that's sort of Red John adjacent, like maybe a Blake Association kind of thing, or something related to the CBI, just to be like, just for old time's sake, just a nice little mystery. That'd be kind of nice, that'd be kind of cool. So I'm curious about that. I don't know what it's all about, but I'm curious about it. And is anyone wondering, what does Jane say to people that make you want to punch him? It's so very interesting, but it's never like a big punch. It's sort of like, hey, you know? So, yeah. What does Jane say? And lastly, I know a lot of people keep thinking that Kim might be considered a love interest to Jane, and she's sort of there to create this whole love triangle thing, but I had a thought when I was watching this episode. I just thought like, but is Kim straight? I don't know that. I don't know that Kim is straight, to be honest. At no point was it clear to me that she was interested in men or women. It could really go either way. We just assumed, but you never know. So I don't know. Maybe she's not into him like that. Maybe she's into, you know, Lisbon. No? Is it me? Is it too far-fetched? Is it possible? I'm just saying, it's possible. So basically, I kind of like this episode, but to be fair, I am biased since I really enjoy spy stories, but I also like the banter that Jane and Lisbon and Cho, and even Kim and even Dennis Abbott, everybody did a decent job. I wasn't crazy about all these other stuff, especially with Van Pelt and Rigsby, but I'm open to see how it all evolves. Anyways, that's what I thought of this episode. What did you think of this episode? Comment below and let me know. And as usual, if you like this video, click the like button. If you're new, make sure to subscribe because I review The Mentalist every week, except next week because I don't think there's a new episode of The Mentalist next week. So we're just gonna have to have like, you know, a hiatus. I guess you're just not gonna see me. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, bye. The secret of the chain, big mystery. What does he say? Dum 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 dum.